This is the Tuesday Chew podcast. We broadcast on Spark 107 in Sunderland and on sparksunderland.com. Okay then, first question, Ed. Why did you start your own business?
The career that I was doing before had kind of run its course. I spent about 2 or 3 months every day on the internet organising work experience. You know, I was already 25, 26, and I felt that I was kind of like a bit old for doing work experience and stuff. So it felt like a natural progression to move on to teaching one-to-one in a self-employed way.
When you first started English in Newcastle as a business, what were the hardest things to overcome?
First of all, I think the marketing. Secondly, I think knowing about the business in general, knowing about how to do business.
How did you get over those problems?
I read as many books about starting your own business as I could, just looked on the Business Link website. I knew a couple of people who'd started their own businesses, so I got some advice from them, but mainly just through my own work, really. And I'm still learning now.
What is it like being your own boss, and was it what you expected?
On the one hand, you're in charge of everything that goes on in your business, you're in charge of people, you can do what you want with your day. I suppose on the negative side though, that you're responsible for everything. Everybody comes to me with their problems and you have to deal with it, and you have to be good at dealing with conflict, which I'm still trying to learn about now, really.
Do you feel you have more freedom now you own your own business?
Yes, I do. I feel much more free running my own business. I can control everything that goes on in the business. I control where I work, when I work, how I work even. I have to work, that's the thing. I have to work long hours, and there's always stuff that needs doing. There's always an invoice that needs to be in. There's always a student who you've got to call. So on the one hand, yeah, I'm free. But on the other hand, there's stuff that needs to be done at certain times, like any other job. Also financial freedom. I don't have any financial freedom yet, but I have a kind of in my mind in the future, there's a kind of future possibility of financial freedom. And I think that's what spurs me on.
So from coming up with the idea of English in Newcastle, the language school, how long after that was it up and running as a business?
From the initial idea of starting off to having the company, probably a year longer, a year and a half maybe. Well, first of all, I think the business is up and running, but I think there's still a lot to do. But from having the initial idea of giving English lessons to getting students to have English lessons with me, that was really quick. I already had connections with language schools, so I knew people who could send me students. Not masses of students, but like quite a few students who were enough to live off. Actually having a limited company and having staff, that took me a lot longer, and I would class that as being up and running as a business, really.
Many businesses fail within the first few years, so how did you keep your business running during such hard economic times?
Well, I think first of all, I did the market research, so I knew that there was going to be a market for what I did. During the recession, of course, it's going to be smaller because people have less money, but there's always going to be people. So I still had people coming on board, and I think those people, you've got to work much harder to keep them happy and get them purchasing again. Secondly, diversifying, like offering other languages, grammar correction service. Oh, and thirdly, probably the most important thing, watching what you spend. You have to actually make some real sacrifices, I think.
Thank you very much, Ed. Listen to the Tuesday Chew. I'm Dom O'Neill.
This is 107 Spark FM.